So we'll open this meeting of the Sheffield Selectboard. We'll thank CTSB for the work they do in videoing and broadcasting our Selectboard meetings. Thank you. We'll start off with meeting minutes, or approval of meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve 2 sets of minutes for February 29, 2024, one set for March 4th, and one set for March 6th of 24 with the Finance Committee.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Discussion, possible action regarding treating invasive plants on town property. I don't see Sarah here, so we'll just table this to the next meeting. Okay. Action regarding resignation of board administrator. So we have a letter here from Pamela Tambourine stating that she will be leaving us, I believe it's April 1st. Somewhere here. So do we have a motion to accept Pamela's resignation?
So moved.
I second that.
Any further discussion?
I think, Bob, that it might be good to read, if you don't mind, Pamela's complete letter.
Okay.
Because she's not leaving us, as she has expressed to me, because she's dissatisfied with her position. And I would not want people to think that that is the case. And her letter makes it very clear.
Okay. So the letter states, Dear Rhonda, I am writing to formally resign my position as board administrator at the town hall. My last day will be on April 1st. I can be available to help with smooth transition after this date. Thank you for the opportunity to work in this role and for all the support and guidance you have provided me during my time here. It is time for me to move on and give this opportunity to someone who can provide more time and dedication to this job. Please let me know how I can assist in the transition process and how I can help ensure that my responsibilities are transferred smoothly to my successor. I will complete any pending tasks and provide all necessary documentation. Thank you again for the opportunity to work for the town hall, and I am grateful for the experience. Sincerely, Pamela Tambourine.
Thank you, Bob.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, discussion, possible action regarding approval of building in the Sheffield Business Park by Mahave tent. Did we get any?
We did not. According to the covenants of the building, of the business park, the selectmen need to approve all plans for buildings. And so I've had conversation with their attorney. They haven't gotten us anything yet, so we'll just move it and hopefully we'll have it for the next one.
Okay, table to the next meeting. All right, ratify the vote to approve the charter cable license renewal. We've already voted on it, but this is to make it public.
I make a motion that we approve the charter cable television license renewal agreement as presented.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion, possible action regarding electric vehicle charging stations.
So Renee, I had a couple questions
Sure.
on this. Do we have any idea what the annual costs are? I couldn't find anything in the packet that said what the ongoing expense to the town would be to have those charging stations in place.
From what I understand, and I've queried from both vendors on this, the cost is the software license, which the state, I don't know if National Grid is in this or not, but the state, in terms of the grant that it is giving to support this, wants to understand how these stations are used. So in one vendor's case, they include the first year of software. In the other vendor's case, they don't. It looks to me, and I've worked with both of them to hone this down about as fine as I can get at this moment. It's about going to be about $6,000 over in effect, 5 years in one case, 4 years in the other case. Okay, now that could be offset by the charge in addition to just the base rate of electricity. You know, if the town adds like a 10% convenience factor or whatever, that money could go to that. I do not know how the money, if you use a credit card, comes back to the town. I sent that question out today to him, and he thought that was a really good question, but I do not have that answer tonight.
So my next question on this topic relates to other communities that have put these EV stations in their community. Do we have any idea what the usage is, what the demand on them is?
No, because I haven't been asked to explore that.
Yeah, well, as I finally had a chance to kind of really digest this the last couple of days, I really am not comfortable with spending town monies on something where I can't see where a majority of the citizens would benefit. And we don't really have any projections as to what could be the potential offset to the expense for the town.
Well, I haven't been asked to get that.
Yeah, I know, because
I also don't want to be doing a lot of work if the bottom line is that we don't know what's going to, to offset that. The one agreement, the one that you're looking at right now, we got a new agreement because they brought new technology on board. And that technology, I don't know if you caught it, took me a minute or two to catch it, is actually 4 ports.
Yeah, I did catch
Not
that.
2 ports.
Yeah.
Okay, so, my thinking was, we don't need 4 ports at town hall. That one's gone. And we put, if we're gonna go with that, and that was $7,500, we do that at the library. Okay. Then I went back and looked at the first one we got from Livingston. And that one was supposedly, though I don't necessarily still like the language, I've read it again, that was free, with the exception of the software cost, okay? That one would be no cost to install, depending on them finding out that what they have estimated is actually correct. But before we would sign the final agreement, everybody would have a chance to get out. But you tell me what you want, and if there's, how do I say this? If there's numbers that could make this case for you, I'll go, don't tell me what those are, I'll go see if I can find them from other towns.
Yeah,
I don't want to be doing work.
No, and I don't want to send
You don't want me to either.
I don't want to send you out doing any extra work. I'm really having a difficult time justifying spending this much money for what seems to me a fairly small number of residents. And, the proposal really encourages this for businesses to get people charging and shopping longer. And, while it might keep someone in the downtown a little longer, that might benefit. Yeah.
Basically, the state is trying to completely revolutionize its grid and its delivery of energy. One of the things that they've been working on for a long time is getting charges out so that you could literally drive across the country and not have to worry about, plan where you're going to stop. So this is a state and a national grid. We're all paying into this. It's another situation where we're paying for this. But if the board doesn't want to proceed with it, that's fine with me. I've just done my homework to try and justify it and see where it goes.
Bob, I'm curious about your feelings on this.
Well, if we can make this as more of a user-paid system, kind of like our transfer station is, when you look at the software here, it does talk about setting the price that drivers pay to use the station based on energy cost, duration, time of use, session length, blah, 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 blah. It seems to me that there's a possibility here that we can make this self-sustaining through
My
additional
personal view
fees.
is if we are offering a rate at the charging station that is equal or slightly different than what, I mean, not much, can't get greedy here, than what the homeowner is charging at home, then it becomes a convenience. I'm at the library, or I'm just going to focus on the library at this moment. If we try to charge, I'm just going to use the 20 cents a kilowatt hour. If we try to charge too much, then the homeowner, I think the EV person will say, I can do this at home.
No, I have no problem, but if they can't at least maintain the cost of having this benefit, then I would probably vote against it. It says funds collected from drivers are electronically transferred into a designated bank account. If we can make this more user cost instead of taxpayer cost, I'm all for it. Even if it's just a slight cost to the taxpayer. But I don't want to have to maintain the software, maintain the unit, because they won't last forever or anything like this will wear out and have to be replaced.
If we have a, depending on which one we were to go with, I was going to take the Livingston one, which is only which is only 2 units, okay, instead of 4. But their software cost on the latest proposal they gave me was $300 per port. There's 2 ports, so there's $600 a year. Okay, but that has to be for 5 years at the present time. I mean, that's the current deal, because the state wants to collect the stats. Now, whether we can collect $600 a year by charging an extra penny, I don't know. I can't forecast that. But I know, Pat, if you don't mind me pointing you out, you have an EV. Oh, I thought you did.
A hybrid.
It's a hybrid. Sorry.
So I think we see a lot more hybrids in town amongst our residents than we see a full electric vehicle.
Hybrids.
Right, it provides no benefit there. And there's 4,
I believe this. When I was at the transfer station, there was 4 electric vehicles in town, totally electric.
yeah. So again, my position is that I don't see this so much as a benefit for the residents. It might be a benefit for a visitor traveling through. But we're literally 6 miles from the charging station at Big Y.
Those are only Teslas.
But
Those are proprietary. I mean, just I'm making that point, these are universal. But again, if the board doesn't feel that it's the right thing to be doing, we don't.
I would like to find out if we can, if they have any data that shows that these can all be somewhat near self-sustaining as far as cost and replacement over time. If they have that data yet, they probably may not have much data.
yeah, and I guess the other question is this company provides a 1-year material and labor warranty. What does the other one provide? 1 year's not very much on something that's so new and,
I don't know, I'd have to go looking at it.
yeah, I guess I'm just not fully on board with this at this point.
It
If
would
you're
all,
sitting on the fence, it's a hard place to sit.
Well, it is.
Let's get off the fence and postpone it until there's more data.
More data.
okay.
I can't, I don't.
If the questions can't be asked, they're answered, then.
Well, I'm not sure, Bob, if the questions are answered. I mean, somebody told me, oh yeah, you can do this. If you charge 2 cents extra a kilowatt hour, you can cover it. I don't know what the use in town would be.
Right.
So I'm not sure that I would be comfortable with believing that information.
Right.
Okay? I think we would know with the Livingston, that both of them tell what the charge is for the software. Warranty is warranty, okay? I can see what the other one is, but both of them are very upfront with what the software is, and that is a 5-year obligation in one case, and it's a 4-year obligation in the other. Where it's a 4-year, it's higher, it's almost double what it is with the Livingston. But if we're not comfortable, we shouldn't do it, is my.
Well, then I would say that we table it until further
Something-
So there's more information that comes down there.
Okay.
Thank you, Renee. I know this has been
No problem.
a fair amount of
You know me,
research.
I like to, if we're gonna do something, I like to have somebody else pay for it. This is not something that's the right time.
Okay, discussion action regarding release of executive session minutes. There's quite a few here.
So I'll make a motion that we release the executive session minutes for June 4th, 2018, June 19th, 2018, September 10th, 2018, October 15th, 2018, March 18th, 2019, April 16th, 2019, June 3rd, 2019, July 1st, 2019, August 5th, 2019, August 27th, 2019, September 3rd, 2019, September 23rd, 2019, October 2nd, 2019, October 28th, 2019, November 5th, 2019, November 22nd, 2019, December 9th, 2019, December 20th, 2019, January 28th, 2020, February 3rd, 2020, April 15th, 2020, April 21st, 2020, and November 16th, 2020.
Second.
For further discussion, I was not on board for this. Is this motion just for the release?
Yes.
Because it is to verify that they are correct?
Non-approval, it's
Okay.
just release.
Perfect. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding speed controls for Mass DOT.
Well, this goes back to what we talked about with the Ashley Falls residents requesting this, and I believe we've gotten a comment from the historic district that they're not, that this is outside of the historic district where it's supposed to be placed.
Yes, we can make sure that it's outside of the historic district. We can have Dave meet them out there and discuss placement or put up a stake so that everyone can see where the placement will be.
So I appreciate the fact that Mass DOT is responsive to the comments of Ashley Falls residents on 7A, and that they are going to put this in, and that it's their cost to do so. So I think it meets a number of things that Ashley Falls residents, at least some of them, have been asking for. So I'd make a motion to approve this and thank the DOT for doing it.
And I'll second that.
Is this for one or two? I didn't see.
It says in Francisca's email, we could offer the town of Sheffield a speed flashback or feedback sign.
Okay, so
I can
one.
certainly clarify whether if there's only one.
I think if we can keep, if it's going to be outside of the Ashley Falls Historic District, it would be good to have one from both directions, because 7A comes speeding down, Ramapo, and that, Cooper Hill that comes speeding down. This is what I've been told.
Personally, I'm not a fan of these big flashing light signs, but there has been enough requests, so I will entertain a vote.
Aye.
We had a motion and a second, correct? All those in
I
favor?
think also, Bob, I think what was in here, these don't sound to me like they're like the green ones that we put in, that they're permanent and they can't be moved. I got the feeling,
Correct.
these were a little bit more portable.
They're installed, but you can move them.
So I think it's not quite as.
Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Discussion possible action regarding nonprofit application from American Legion.
So Bob, before you start, I know I was involved in the conversation as I was on the application with the American Legion, but I'm going to recuse myself because I was not involved in any of the awards. So if you don't mind, I'm going to stay here, but I'm going to pull myself over.
You don't have to, that's quite all right. We have gone over their application before. There was a discussion on what it would be used for, and we asked that they reapply with another application. I'm good with the application that they have presented. I initially thought somewhere around 20,000 would be good. I don't know what anybody thinks.
That's very generous.
Yes, it is, I think. But it is the American Legion, and they have done a lot for Sheffield, and including helping with the senior center, so, and they do have an ugly mound sitting in front of their
Oh, dear God.
Legion. I'm sorry, I think it is ugly, but anyway.
Well, it's a septic system and it was required.
I realize that, and there was no other place to put it, I also realized that. But it's still ugly, ugly though.
I wasn't thinking quite as generous as you, but I certainly think that they've given us enough with the estimates they submitted that,
They definitely have a lot more than $20,000 worth of improvements.
They
that
do.
we made.
they do.
I like to hope they use them for the bathrooms as a starting place,
Yeah.
and then everything left towards.
So I'll second your motion for $20,000 with the request that they do the bathrooms first.
And I'll second that. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, update on special town meeting. Rhonda, would you like to handle the update on the special town meeting?
Sure, so I believe Phyllis, you said we had about 93 voters that turned out to listen to and vote on the proposal to
Rhonda, could you
purchase.
use the microphone, Shirley?
This is the
So I said, according to Phyllis, there were about 93 voters who turned out last night to listen to the presentation and to vote on the purchase of 48 Sheffield Business Park for $1,050,000, and it was approved by an 85 to 15%. And so we will move forward with looking at the financing options and to get the closing handled. Currently, we have that set for May 15th.
Anything anyone else would like to add?
I appreciate everyone who came out. A lot of people had said to me, oh, this is a no-brainer, I'm not going to come to town meeting. But I always hold my breath until the votes are in. I thought very good questions were asked. Our residents really wanted to know what they were investing in and asked very good questions. Nadine, I compliment you on the presentation you made, and I thought it was a very successful meeting.
Thank you. I thought the residents participated really beautifully last night. There was a lot of general comments and some really, good questions. So I thought it was a good meeting, and I'm glad things went quickly.
And I would just second both of what you have said and move on to the next agenda item. Wait a minute. Announce creation of administrative assistant position in the town administrator's office. I would say that probably you too, dear.
So the select board and I have discussed the creation of a new position of an administrative assistant for our office. This position would be the frontline person. They would answer the phone, they would greet visitors who come to our office. We would have them handling mail, attending some evening meetings to take minutes. There is a full job description on the website, and we have posted this on Indeed, and it will come out in the shopper's guide. It's on our website, and anybody who has any questions or interest, give us a call. We'd be happy to talk to you about it.
I think it's important that the board administrator position is being restructured so that the public doesn't think this is another position on top of the one that we just announced a resignation from. Am I right?
Yes.
Any further discussion? Okay. Announce town meeting and town election dates. Do you have those?
Sure. So the annual town meeting is going to be held Monday, May 6th at 6 p.m. in the Mount Everett Auditorium. And the annual election will be Monday, May 13th. There is one moderator position, one position open for library trustee, one position open for a member of the select board, and 2 members of the planning board.
Okay. Discussion, possible action regarding micro transit.
So the director of the microtransit program, the Tri-Town Connector, has asked Sheffield what they would like to do is they'd like to replace the 10:30 and the 12:30 connector buses with a 6:30 a.m. and a 4:30 p.m. It says that starting April 1st and through June 30th, Sheffield residents can access on-demand transit service from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. through 3:30 p.m. The service area covers within 2 miles of the Route 7 corridor, and this would replace the 10:30 a.m. and the 12:30 p.m. Connector trips. This is available for seniors, ADA riders, and the general public. The 7:30 a.m. and 3:25 p.m. remain unchanged. And then starting July 1st, it's going to be the full 7-day per week on-demand service. But they wanted the board's permission to do this, and this is really based on what they're seeing in terms of ridership and demand.
Makes sense.
So I'll make a motion that we accept their recommendation for changing.
I'm sorry.
That's fair. I'll second it. Any further discussion?
I'll get new posters up as soon as I receive them.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then we have discussion and action regarding letter of support for USDA grant application.
So we really don't have to take action on this tonight. I'm looking for some additional information from the chief to make it a stronger letter. This is for the police cruiser. They also have a new application this year, and they've updated our income numbers. So instead of the 75% we now qualify for a 55% reimbursement, but that's still worth applying for. They're a little bit, with the federal government not knowing what it's doing in terms of appropriations, they still haven't gotten their assigned money for the year. So we'll just do this and we'll see what happens. But I'll get this, and at our next meeting, maybe we can have a better letter if there's anything you want to add to it. So that's kind of what
I
it
have
is.
to add to it at this point, maybe. Okay, so we'll pass that on to another meeting. Board member items. Nadine?
I just want to thank the voters that came out last night. It's nice to see a small and cozy group.
Renee?
Same thing. Yeah.
And I cannot add much more to that. I thought it was a good meeting, well attended, respectful. Everything went as smooth as could be, and I appreciate the outcome. Rhonda, any board administrator items? Well, then we'll go on to public comment.
I have something I'd like to share with you, which is, I think, quite fun. You walk and see me coming in with a knitting bag. I have a different kind of bag tonight. It's a new library program that, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's Reach for a Book or 1,000. It's a national program that we have joined through the support of the Friends that encourages reading of parents and caretakers and grandparents to children. It's read 1,000 books before kindergarten. And the bag contains a book, a way of keeping track of the reading program. And in fact, there will be sort of a leaderboard at the library with families being able, when they reach 100 books, 200 books, if they want to participate and have a kind of competition. That's entirely up to them. And there's also not only, this is 2 books in there. Hang on. So not only is there a bag for the parent, there's a bag for the child. So it's Read Together, Bushnell State Library. The program started this week, and we're encouraging people to sign up, get their bags, get their books, and get going reading to their child 1,000 books before kindergarten. Wonderful. So I just wanted to let people know
I think
that.
there's nothing more enjoyable than reading a book with a child.
Right. And if you read the same book 20 times, it counts 20 books. Good night again. All you're reading, it all counts.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Seeing none.
I will make a motion to go into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Police Officers Association. Such discussion held in public could disadvantage the select board in its discussion, and that the select board not come back into public meeting.
I need a roll call vote.
Nadine Huber, aye.
Renee, we're not.
Bob Gilmer, aye. Meeting adjourned.